What is up? I'm back and I am ready to finish up this game jam. The text there on my screen's not quite right. I'm not in the planning phase. Let me see if I can put it. Let me update that real quick. Inconvenient Super Powers, how are they? All right, let's reload that. Okay. All right, so Captain Coder's back working on Trijam number 148, which is a game jam in which you have you constrain yourself to 3 hours of development time. In that 3 hours, it doesn't matter if you it doesn't count the time you spend planning and thinking about the game. It's only 3 hours of actual time spent sort of coding, developing, making art assets, making music assets. 3 hours. Goal is to work on planning. Get yourself to plan better. And that way when you sit down to actually work, boom, you're really productive. All right, so far, let's get over here to Unity here. So far, we have built a game. It's imported. I just got a bunch of new assets from my teammate. I imported them in. So here's what we have so far. All right, so we're doing, the theme is Inconvenient Super Powers. In this particular game, it's going to be a space shooter, and you have a malfunctioning ship. So you have 3 powers. You got a laser, you got a shield, and you got a bomb. Okay, so each one of those is malfunctioning, so every 5 seconds the ship sort of reconfigures and you don't know what you're gonna get, so it's pretty inconvenient. So we have all of our ship abilities working. We have a game over screen. We got enemy ships flying around. I have spent a total of 1 hour and let me pull up my timer here. I got it. 1 hour 59. Here's my time right now. 1 hour 59 seconds. 1 hour 59 minutes 29 seconds. So I got about an hour left to polish this thing up. My teammate has given me some new assets. I got our laser. I got a star. I got a moon. So let's do some planning. Let's figure out what I'm gonna finish this session. All right, so I have a big list of things that I want to do, but I'm pretty limited. I'll get my dot cam here. So session 3 is all about the polish. Session 3, polish. The Polish. We'll find out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know how to spell. Maybe polish and Polish are spelled the same. My brain's not working this morning. Okay, so I know for sure I want to get a background in game. I want to add in sound / music. So I have those assets in my game already. That I want to add. It's going to be shooting sounds, blowing up sounds, background. I want to add in a score that's going to show you how many kills you've had so far. I want to add in background, sound, music, score, a timer for ship components. So you'll know when your ship, there'll be a little timer that's counting down. You'll know when you're going to get a reconfiguration. Just accidentally slid there. I want to add UI showing which components are on. So you'll know if you have your shield, you'll know if you have Your bomb, you'll know if you'll have your laser, so you'll know which components are on. I think those are the big ones that I want to add. All right, so background, sound and music, score, UI showing it, a timer for the ship component. We already have a timer, I just want it visible. And then I want to add more enemies. 7 higher score equals faster spawn. So we're gonna start out with a spawn rate that's pretty slow, but as you kill things, you'll get faster and faster enemy spawns. So I want to create a couple new enemy paths to be able to hit more spots on the screen. I want to have a higher score equals faster spawns. So these are going to be our generator. I want to add a background to the game. So a black background, and I'm just going to generate stars flying across the background. I'm going to add in music. I want to do, all right, so this is the first thing I'm going to do. Then I really want to add in sound, so I'm going to do that second. It just makes everything feel much nicer. I think I'm going to do this third. This one third. Timer for ship components. This I think I can do really quick. So 3, 4. And then I want this here, and then we'll add in a score. Okay, so that's sort of related to this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the order I'm gonna try and finish these things. So let me think about my background. I'm gonna add my assets, and I'm gonna create a background controller. My background controller is just gonna randomly generate stars and have them float across the back of the screen. I need to add in, that's pretty easy. For sound and music, I'm just gonna add in a sound, drag the music in, set it up to loop. One other thing that would be really nice, 8, start screen. So you can, the game doesn't start out running, it starts out and it's just sort of going across, and you hit the start button to play. Okay, that's gonna be the last thing I add, I think. That should be pretty quick. I'm feeling pretty good about this. All right, so I gotta have my background component. For score, I'm gonna add a score to the player, and then just add an element to the screen that gets the player's score, or whenever the player score updates, it updates. I don't think this is too hard. The longest thing is adding more enemies, because I have to like drag and drop a bunch of stuff. Background I think is going to take me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Probably take me another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes, so I'm up to 30 here. More enemies, faster spawn. So that's gonna take me 20 minutes. I might be surprised if I built my system properly. I might be surprised by that. And then hopefully we're gonna go for 5 minutes here and 5 minutes here. So that's 1 hour. 1 hour. Okay. Let's get myself situated. Get my camera switched back on so you can watch me panic. All right. All right, that's the plan. We got 1 hour. Get my, I'm doing my background first. Get Unity open. Get my VS Code ready. All right, and starting my timer now. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to add a background. I need to adjust, actually, before I forget. Take these new assets and scale them. We're gonna turn off filtering, and get them ready to go. Okay, so let me create a background. Create empty background. And this is gonna have center it 0, 0. And I want to put it far in the back, so at 10. And I'm gonna create a sprite that's just a black square, and it's gonna be scaled to our game window. 3, 6, or 7, 12. All right, we'll do that. Set at 6 and 11. All right, so our game has a nice background. So when you go full screen, we'll have that space there. Okay, then I want to create a container for our stars, and I'll create a container for our planets. Okay, and then I want to create a base star. Create, and well, I'll just drag that in actually from my art assets, right, star. Okay, and it's gonna be our template here. I get it. Oh, everything's in top of that. Just need to be negative. Why is okay? To the back. There we go. We got our little. Where'd my background? Chip star. There it is. Star. Rename that star. I'm just gonna spawn a bunch of those. So I'm gonna add a component called background mover, and this is just gonna have like a velocity associated with it. So when we update, so load speed X during our update, this will be this dot transform dot translate to vector 2 0 speed X times the delta time, and then if this dot transform dot position dot Y is less than -10, unity engine dot object dot destroy stop game object. So it's going to make this thing fly at a specific speed, and when it reaches the bottom, it will be destroyed. Okay, so then I'm just going to spawn a bunch of these, put them sort of at the top, give them a bunch of random speeds, and get them flying around. All right, so I'll go ahead and disable that, and then I'm going to add a background generator. Background generator is going to have a reference to our star template. Background generator. Public background mover. Star rep. Public transform star container. Public float. Yeah, what do I want? Public int at stars. So we're gonna spawn stars as long as we have those. Public float min x equals 3. Public float x equals 3. So we're gonna spawn at the top between those. Public float min y negative. I think we're at like -7. We'll spawn between 6 and 5 just to be safe. Min 5 float max y equals 6. All right. I have my x way too high, so it should be -1. That's interesting. Background is not centered. Right, so it should be at -3 to 3 was pretty close. Okay, -3 to 3. All right, max stars, and then I'll do a public float spawn rate, public float last spawn, and then I'll write a method down here called public void spawn, and we're gonna have a check here that says if last spawn plus spawn rate less than time.time. We've done this multiple times now. Last spawn equals time.time, and we'll call spawn. And in spawn, I'm just gonna make like 20 of these things, make sure that I'm not over the max, and then put them in by default. Let's set the max to like 500. So we'll see what that looks like. We need another float. Public float bin speed equals -10. Speed's going down. Public float max speed equals -1. Okay, now we can generate all these things. So for int I equals 0, I less than 50, we'll generate 50 stars at a time. If star container dot count, child count, greater than equal to stars. So if we have too many stars on the screen, we just won't spawn anymore. So we'll exit out. Otherwise, we want to make a star. So we're going to make a back mover. Mover equals unity engine object instantiate background. I'm gonna do it on star ref. Clone that guy, and we're gonna generate its position. The new mover dot transform dot parent is going to be our star container, so we're going to put it into the star container on the screen. New mover dot transform dot position equals new position. Vector 2 new position equals new vector 2 new x new y float new x equals random range min x max x. Same thing for y min y max y. Okay, then I need to set the speed, so new mover dot speed. Do I not have a speed in there? Background movers. Speed x needs to be public. New mover dot speed x equals random dot range min speed max speed. New mover dot game object dot set active true. We'll activate it after we've set it, put its position, speed max min. Okay, all right, let's see. We got a background going. Hit play. Probably didn't set a reference. Star container, nope, star template, star container. Okay, go. I gotta set spawn rate to every 1 second. Last spawn, we can start out by generating. Okay, try again. Max stars is 0, 500. Okay. Sort of generate them in bursts. And it's quite too many. We can add a random scale to make them look a little bit nicer too. Public float and scale equals 0.1f. Public float and scale equals 0.5. Try that. New mover dot scale transform dot local scale equals random range and scale max scale. Do that. Oh, new. All right, we got a float scale equals new vector 3 scale. Okay. I think my speed difference is just too high. We'll try 5. I'm probably generating just too many all at the same time. It's like generating them first. So yeah, they're just like spawning in there. I want them to spawn further up. So let me set my min y 6 and my max y 7. Min y 6, max y 7. My max speed is still a little bit too high, so max speed, or my min speed, are -5. 7. Okay, I like that. Okay, that looks really pretty good. I'm a little confused why my background is blue, like why my square I have to understand why my square is there. You can always in my camera have this be black, but I thought I could. Okay, I'm not sure why my background's not doing. I'm not gonna worry about it for now, because I'm gotta finish other stuff up. My stars are working. If I put my square, this square not showing up. I'm just so confused by that. Alright, I got stars. My main camera's color. Oh, get it. Oh, I have this. I'm selecting the wrong thing. That's it. Main camera. Make my main camera black. The reason I don't want that is in free aspect, I still want you to see the bounds of the screen properly. Don't quite understand. Main camera. Where? Okay, it's related to that. Let's see if I can get that to... Okay, that seems to be working. We'll make this back to sort of ugly blue color. Okay. All right. We're at 2 hours, 15 minutes. I'm moving on to adding sounds. So I have some audio assets I'm just going to add in here. I want my laser. All right, so when I shoot a laser, I'm just going to attach a sound to my laser. and it's gonna play on wake. So now when I shoot my laser, it should just play. All right, so that's easy enough. I need to attach on my enemy script needs a reference to, so every enemy, I'm gonna add in a explosion. So it's gonna be an enemy explosion. This one doesn't play on wake. So it doesn't play on wake. Doesn't play on wake. And then we just make our enemy controller script needs to have an audio source. And we can actually just get this off of our thing. So blow up, we're gonna just do this .game object.get component audio source, audio source sound. If sound is not equal to null, sound dot. I actually think this isn't gonna work because we're gonna destroy our game object. I might have to put the audio somewhere else. We're gonna find out. Yeah, that doesn't work because the enemy is getting destroyed. So we just got to move our audio source somewhere else. So remove that. Remove that. And in our enemy spawner, that's where we're going to add our enemy explode sound. And we're just going to make it so that we can reference it. So enemy control, enemy spawner. Enemy spawner. We're going to have and we're getting a little hacky here. Static audio source, enemy explosion. And this, when we start up, enemy explosion is equal to, so this enemy is going to be equal to this dot game object dot get audio. Okay, and I'm just going to do public audio source and explosion this, and I'm going to just do public static instance. And this, we're just going to do enemy spawner controller dot instance. All right, so when we start up, we're just going to add that in there. Enemy controller. Blow up. Okay, so we blow up. Where did my blow up method go? Here it is. We are just gonna do enemy spawner controller dot instance dot enemy explosion dot play. Okay, now we should have an explosion sound. No. And that's just because I didn't attach the audio here. Okay. Okay. Nice little explosion sound. All right. Next, we're gonna have the player explosion sound. So in my game controller, add player explosion. Okay, so when the player dies, we gotta make the player sound explode. Let's go to our game controller. This game controller. Same thing here. Public audio source player explosion. That we already have access to that instance. Add that in here. Player explosion. All right, player controller. Controller. Change power. Restart. Oh, that's game controller. Player controller. Blow up. We do game controller dot instance dot player explosion dot play. So when our player gets hit, we blow up, play and blow up sound. It calls blow up the first time. No, I need to, in my game controller, not play on wig. Go. Okay. All right, cool. So I need to add in a little 5 seconds there where when you respawn. All right. Public float invulnerability duration. I set it to 3 seconds. Public float full. And if this is negative, then you're not invulnerable. Otherwise, we're gonna figure that out real quick. So if down here we want to, we're enemy and invulnerable is greater than or is less than 0. All right, so we'll only blow up if we're not invulnerable, and when we die, we're gonna set blow up. So if we die and vulnerable is equal to time plus invulnerable duration. And then in cleanup, we're gonna say if invulnerable is less than time, invulnerable is equal to negative. Okay. So we should be invulnerable for 3 seconds after we die. Let's die. Oh, but that needs to be after we spawn. Okay. So respawn is when we should set the invulnerable. Otherwise, we have to add. Here we go. There we go. So when we respawn, we'll be invulnerable for 3 seconds. Okay. 3 seconds is a long time. So I'm gonna set it down to 2 seconds. Okay. All right, so I got my basic sounds in. Let's add in our game music. Attach our game loop. We're just gonna turn that volume down so it's not super annoying. And I'm gonna turn off my music so you guys can hear what that sounds like. All right. Some asset got destroyed. Object enemy controller has been destroyed, but you are still trying to access it. Interesting. That's related to our bomb. Okay, so now we need to sort of turn on each of the various components. In player controller, I want to make it so that way we can turn off the shield if it exists. So public void disable shield. And that's just gonna be this chunk here. And we're just gonna call disable shield. Okay. And when if we're just gonna player disable, we're gonna disable the shield if they're not supposed to have it. Okay. So you can't just keep the shield and have all the abilities. All right. So next I want to create a little timer that says when your next set of abilities is gonna happen. I'm just gonna ignore this error for now. It's a little disappointing that I have it, but we're gonna add a little countdown timer here. So we're gonna add in a UI text, and this text is just gonna say countdown. I'm gonna say power reset. All right, and then I'm gonna add a little bar. Create UI. Want to. Yeah, I'm gonna add in. I'm just gonna have it say the amount for now. Power reset, and it's gonna say the time. Okay, we're gonna have this show up at the top right of the screen. Canvas. Make the font 32. I'm gonna just ignore. Actually, let's just make this thing stretch. Top stretched. Left 0. 0. And our pivot. Pivot should be -1. +1. Height 100. 32. 35. Power reset. Too big. 24. Okay. Power reset. And have the center, no, center that way. And add some. I really want a little graphic that shows the power coming down. That's okay. If I have time, I'll add it. It shouldn't be super hard to add, but we're just gonna add in a little game controller here. Game controller is just gonna update this. Want a little padding on the left. So game controller, during update, we need to reference this public Unity engine UI.text power during start, during here, power timer dot text equals power reset, and then add in the number of seconds left. It should be last change minus time, and I'll have to convert that, I think, to a better, like an integer that way. Null reference. Edit has access to timer. Okay. So it should be telling us how many seconds we have, so it should be our and int time left equals power change time plus last change. This should be getting us that. I'm just going to convert this whole thing to an int. We'll count this down. An S at the end so we know it's seconds. Let's get the same thing up. Now we got our shield. Make sure the shield turns off. Okay. All right. Basic UI for that. And I want a thing that just tells us which power we have. So I'm going to add a little text that just says current power. Duplicate that. Get that. Change the font. 16. All right, current power. Okay, and in our game controller, we need a reference to that. Okay, and go ahead and add that in before I forget. Okay, and then we just do current power dot text laser shield on. Okay, and I want it to where it always picks a different power, so I'm going to do public int current power or last power equal 0, which you start with. We're just going to do randomly pick one. Yeah, int choice -1. Well, choice equals last choice. Last, what did I call it? Last power. Well, choice equals last power. Choice. Okay, so you will always get a different power now. Okay, 2 hours 33 minutes. I'm doing okay. Current power needs to start as the laser, right? No, did not. Just laser again. Oh, and I gotta set last power. Last power. Okay. I think we got that. Set, I need to make it say current. A little bit disappointed that I am not gonna have little icons for these, I don't think. Current power. Or laser. What I should probably do is put those at the bottom of the screen and just make it so that you can't go on that part of the screen or something. But there it goes, bomb. Alright, so what bomb does not work. That's really annoying that the bomb doesn't work. If this blow up. Object of type has been destroyed, but you're still trying to add to your script. Should check if it's okay. Not equal. Yeah. I think that'll do it. No. No. Oh boy. Oh, and destroy all enemies. We loop through and call enemy dot blow up. And then remove it from the enemies list. Play explosion, and then we destroy it. Oh, maybe player. We're calling bomb twice or something? No. I don't know why the bomb is not working. Um, I'll just oh, because if it goes off the screen, it needs to remove itself too. That's what's happening. Okay. Okay. When the enemy goes off the screen, it needs to remove itself here as well. That is what's happening. I have a bunch of enemies over. Okay. I think that should get it. I think having that. No. I really don't know what's going on. Blow works fine. Destroy. Here, we also destroy. We destroy the laser. This. I don't know why my enemies are not blowing up, and it's really frustrating. If enemy game object equals null. Try to skip it that way. This is a really all right, I think I'm gonna end up going over. I'm at 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I cannot figure out bug. Enemy equals null? That would be so weird to me. Alright, that fixed it. Okay. And I want to make it after you should see, okay. I want to make it play a big explosion sound when you use the bomb. This one. Okay, so we're gonna add that to our game controller. Game controller. Bomb. Here. Bomb explosion, and then in our player controller, when we activate our bomb, then we're gonna do game controller.instance.bomb play. So at least you have some idea of what happened. That should be all right. And after you use the bomb, I need to set the text to say none. Game controller instance power current power dot text power. All right. Pretty happy with this. I'm going to add a few more enemy types. Pop out the little image there with that. Okay. All right. So in my player, in my game controller, I'm going to add in a kills actually. And I want it so that the spawn rate will increase as you kill more stuff. And this is just getting ugly. But we're going to add this here for now. Figure out where we kill. Right. Game controller. Public int kills 0. Ships destroyed. Like ships destroyed a little better. Ships destroyed. In our update, we need a reference to it. All the ships destroyed. Okay, this is gonna be. I could be better about doing this. I don't need to update it every time. Ships destroyed. kills. Is that what I called it here? Yeah. Every time a ship is destroyed, we just increment that by 1. Blow up. Yeah, so when we blow up, if we make it here, game controller dot instance dot kills plus plus. Increase that by 1. We have a kill count now. Oh, I have it updated in our game controller. This should be destroyed. There we go. Okay. I want to make it so that enemies don't spawn if the player's dead. So I'm gonna do if game controller.instance.player.lives less than or equal to 0. Oh, we do nothing. Okay. So when we get to our game over screen, it doesn't show. Die. Okay. All right, we have like a playable game here. 2 hours, 47 minutes. I want to make it so that every time you kill stuff, the timer, the spawner gets a little bit faster. All right, so we're going to start our spawn rate out at 5, and we'll make it so that way you spawn, it will increase. So spawn, every time we kill something, we'll just have it calculate here based off your spawner. So, ooh, and we're going to have to reset it. So, public void reset. Start spawn rate 5. Okay. And spawn rate to start spawn rate. Okay. And then we're just going to do a thing here that spawn rate is equal to I guess I didn't really start spawn rate minus 0.1 times game controller dot instance dot player dot or game controller dot kills. So we're gonna reduce that, and then we want to do a math f dot max. So we don't ever want to go below 0.25. All right. Now, as we kill stuff, we should get more and more enemies spawning faster and faster. And then I just gotta reset the number of kills. That needs to start faster, I think. So go start spawn rate 2. It's just way too slow. There we go. Increases. Alright, so that's interesting. It went down way too fast there. I'm not sure what a better rate would be. But it suddenly just, oh, maybe because we just did a massive bomb or something. The maximum I think I'm gonna set to be that, so it'll just get progressively harder. All right, let's add a couple extra ship types in. Okay, so I want one that like zigs across the screen. So go ahead and save. I'm gonna duplicate my flight plan here. And let's make this flight plan better. These here. All right, so we're gonna start up there, and we're gonna zig back and forth across the screen. Let's delete that. Oh, I'm moving. This is gonna be an annoying enemy. Probably doing too many. Right, I have too many zigs. Do a couple. Delete all of them except the first one. Right, so we're gonna start here. Go here. Here. Go here. Off the screen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. First waypoint. Second waypoint. Third waypoint. Point. That. Okay. That's the last one. All right, so it should zig across the screen. Let's go ahead and duplicate an enemy. Give it this flight plan. Okay. Let's make another flight plan. And this one's gonna go from the other side. Zig the other way. Duplicate. Okay. Okay, got that flight plan. Duplicate my enemy. Should change its color a little bit, but flight plan I need to update there. There. Flight plan to the enemy. And then add these to the enemy spawner. 2 new enemies. Come on. Enemy. All right, so we should get a couple more types of enemies, make it a little harder. I need to make it when you use the bomb. The kills don't go up so high. That's causing it to get to spawning tons of these guys all at the same time. So when we use the bomb, it's okay. I don't have time. We're at 2 hours 55 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna stop and decide whether or not I want to go over on my time. All right, so I have a working game. Pretty good. I'm gonna spend a second here. All right, I'm resuming my timer. I want to replace the laser with the asset that my teammate made. I got a laser here. This should be pretty easy to replace. Let's turn that on. Of course, it's this stupid widget, gizmos. And what does the collider look like? Okay. Looks great. All right, so let's turn it off. Let's see what the game looks like with the laser. Great. I'm gonna make the laser scaled. Okay, there we go. Oh, got to disable the laser so it chunked itself. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to, I want the ships that zigzag back and forth. I'm gonna make those zigzag faster. Okay, and I'm gonna change that enemy ship color just to give us a little key. And test it out. Okay, it is quite difficult, but playable. All right, so I mean that's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. I'm at 2 hours 59 minutes. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna send this over to my partner and ask if they want. So I got 2 hours 59 minutes 6 seconds. Ask if they want me to go over. Because if I spent another 30 minutes, I think I could get all the things that I want. Say 30 minutes is going to turn into an hour. That's always what happens. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty happy. This is a completed game. Oh, I need to reset the kills on the game over screen. All right, I need to spend a couple more seconds. Resume. Okay, so when I click game over, game controller restart kills and last equals 0 and this. Okay. That should essentially restart the game. Okay. Forced up my timer. Make sure. Kill some stuff. Okay, it sort of resets. Alright, okay. So I got 2 hours, 59 minutes, 45 seconds. So, pretty close. I'm pretty happy. I have a playable game. It's missing some finer little components, but not terrible. So, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. Bye.